As a UK-born Palestinian, my family history has been shaped by 100 years of war and injustice against the Palestinian people by the Israeli state and British colonial rule. My grandfather was shot in the head by a British soldier when he went to defend attacks on a neighbour's home in 1948, and my parents were forced to flee their home on the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem in 1967 during the Six-Day War. After that, Jerusalem became occupied by Israel. The ill treatment of Palestinians not only continues to this day, but it is far more brutal than ever. In East Jerusalem, homes are being dispossessed or demolished, schools are being demolished in front of the children and their teachers while they just look on helpless. Mobs of young Israeli settlers march through the streets of Jerusalem shouting death to Arabs. Palestinians are herded through checkpoints like cattle. If anybody who's Palestinian protests this, they have the threat of being shot or thrown in jail or beaten up by Israeli soldiers. It doesn't matter whether they're men, women or children. The same treatment is used against them. In Gaza, the civilian population are regularly bombed using drones made in factories here in this country, in Scotland, and supplied by the UK government to Israel. Freedom of movement is severely limited and there are restrictions on power supply and access to clean water. Many Palestinians are still forced to live in refugee camps both inside and outside of Palestine. These camps have existed since families were originally forced out in 1948, and just this month a refugee camp in Jenin in Palestine was attacked by Israeli airstrikes. 13 people were killed, many were injured, and thousands were forced to flee. This has to stop. What can we do to help? What can you do? If you care about justice, freedom and human rights for Palestinians, then please stand up and join the protest organised by the Scottish Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Send a letter to the Edinburgh International Festival organisers. Tell the Israeli government-funded LEV dance company they are not welcome in Scotland, and don't allow them to whitewash Israeli apartheid.